So most welcome to my class. I see a number of students have already joined my class, and as you see on the screen, today's class title is Important Sentence Structure Necessary for Formatting and Completing Sentences. Actually, I have taken the last step of the last class into today's class because I could not finish the last chapter of the last class. So I have added the last step, and it is compound sentence. Actually, in order to format or construct English sentence, we have to know how to put words, how to arrange words in the sentences, and if we can arrange words in the grammatically correct way, it becomes a good sentence. Of course, we have to know some other things as well. But this is most important so far, I think, because if you don't know or if you can't format or construct grammatically correct sentences, it's not possible to write anything in English as well as tell anything in English correctly. So this is very, very important. But before launching into my class, I want to inform you that father of our math teacher, Mr. Fazulok, died just an hour back. Inna lillahi wa inna ilahi rajiun. So please, this is my request to all. Pray for the departed soul. Pray for the demised. Anyway, this is a very sad news for us today. And as many as 20 students have joined, but time is already over and 7 minutes is over. So I don't have much time to talk on introduction. So I want to go into my own content page. Please write anything, any problem in hearing me. Please write in your comment box. If you hear me clearly and if you see the content page clearly, so please write in the comment box if you hear me clearly. If you hear me clearly, if you hear me clearly, if you hear me clearly and see the content page, please write in the comment box. Yes, sir, it's clear. Thank you very much. So I'm going to my own content page. Now you see, compound sentences as in the last class I was talking about, of course, different types of sentences. And this is the last step, compound sentences. And I have given details of how we actually frame or make compound sentences. You see, I've given it in points, two or more independent clauses. In my last class, I told you that when a clause can stand independently, it's an independent clause. But in the complex sentence, we have another kind of clause that is dependent clause or subordinate clause. Dependent clause or subordinate clause cannot stand alone, cannot stand freely, but independent clause can stand freely, can stand alone with complete meaning. Anyway, compound sentence requires two or more clauses, independent clauses, and is see connected with some form of punctuation marks, comma or semicolon or linking word. Linking word means conjunction or adverb. Punctuation marks means comma or semicolon. That means in the compound sentence, we can use comma or semicolon in the place of a conjunction or a linking word. In other words, a compound sentence is made when two or more simple sentences are joined by punctuation marks or conjunctions. This is another definition. Anyway, this is not very much important. Two independent clauses joined by a comma or a coordinating conjunction. You see here, I have given the example coordinating conjunctions. What are the coordinating conjunctions? Which are the coordinating conjunctions? You see for, and, not, but, or, yet, so. These are the coordinating conjunctions, and we actually use them in making a compound sentence. But there is another type of conjunction, and this is called correlative. Can you see here? These conjunctions actually are used in pair, not only but also both and, either or, neither nor, etc. These are called correlatives. But when you find these correlatives in a sentence, these sentences are compound sentences. And I have given form for your better understanding. You see, simple sentence plus conjunction plus simple sentence. Actually, I have termed an independent clause as simple sentence here. Actually, independent clause is in another way can be called simple sentence, or a simple sentence is a one independent clause. So simple sentence plus conjunction plus simple sentence actually makes a compound sentence. Or independent clause plus conjunction plus independent clause, you see. And I have given examples for your understanding. It's been, that it has, when we talk, actually we use contraction. It's been means it has been. It has been a very long day, so I am going to bed. It's been a very long day. Very long day means tiring day. That means I actually did not feel much comfortable. The day was very much difficult for me, so it's been a very long day. As if the day seemed not too much away. So I am going to bed. You see here the use of the conjunction so, and this is coordinating conjunction. Andrew plays classical guitar for regularly on weekends. Elder means বুড়ো হয়ে গেছে তাদের জন্য। Weekends সাপ্তাহিক ছুটিতে। So it is clear that Andrew actually serves in some other place, but when he finds holiday, that means weekends, he is quite free. So in the free moments, he spends some time on his guitar for the recreation of the elderly people, old people. And his sister teaches piano lessons for children. You see here the use of and is the, you see, coordinating conjunction. And then next, moving to a new city can be a stressful experience. Moving to a new city can be a stressful, means difficult, কষ্টকর experience, but it can also be very exciting. That means if you move along with your family from Dhaka to Chittagong, you will have to go through a number of hazards, a number of troubles, a number of problems. But when you are set in Chittagong, you will find things around very, very exciting. So this is the sentence. Moving to a new city can be a stressful experience, but it can also be very exciting. Not only the leader, but also his followers are coming towards the city centers. Not only the leader, but also his followers are coming towards the city center. So you just use the see the use of the correlative, not only but also is a correlative. But there is a grammatical rule of using correlative, and in another class I will try to make understand how we use correlative because it will take a long time. Number two independent clauses joined by semicolon. Semicolon. Actually, we use a semicolon instead of and. And এর পরিবর্তে আমরা সেমিকোলন ব্যবহার করি এবং এই সেমিকোলনের নানান তাৎপর্য আছে, ব্যাখ্যা আছে। দেখবে সেমিকোলনের এপাশে ওপাশে যে সেন্টেন্সগুলো থাকে একে অপরকে আসলে হেল্প করে বুঝতে এবং খুব ক্লোজ in meaning. Actually, the two clauses that are placed in the left and on the right have very close meaning. I did most of the work on the presentation. I did most of the work on the presentation. You try to understand when you will be in the university. Almost at the end of every term of the university courses, you will have to present some papers on the course. That means this is the last finishing step of every term, and then you will have to present a very important paper, and you will have to appear before the teachers, and you will have to before a viva board when you will have to speak out. Many teachers will be there, many students may be there, and this is presentation. Okay, and it's very important to express yourself, to learn how to express yourself, how to introduce yourself before with others or before many people. It's very helpful for exploring your personality or expanding your personality. Okay, so for the expansion of the personality, presentation is very important. So I did most of the work on the presentation. Actually, at the end of the term, gets ready with all of his preparations to express himself in the presentation. So I did most of the work on the presentation. I deserve a higher mark than my partner. And then next example, last year's flood was very costly and it was devastating. Last year's flood was very costly means last year's flood was very dangerous. The city spent millions to repair the damaged streets and homes. So many streets and homes were destroyed. As a result, the city authorities had to expend a lot of money. That is why the city spent millions, লক্ষ লক্ষ কোটি কোটি টাকা to repair the damaged ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত streets and homes. And this is how we can, you see here, this is the semicolon. I did most of the work on the presentation. I deserve a higher mark than my partner. So we see the two clauses are very close in meaning. Almost one clause actually supplement other. When we write or tell this, we have to also say this. This is called mutual supplementation. Last year's flood was very costly. So instead of so এর পরিবর্তে the city spent, okay, এখানে so এর পরিবর্তে সেমিকোলন বসানো হয়েছে। independent clauses joined by connecting adverb. This is adverb. This is not conjunction, but this adverb actually works as an as a conjunction. Andrew wants to give back to society in some way. Andrew, of course, is a part of the society and he takes many things from the society. Andrew enjoys many facilities from the society. So Andrew thinks that it is his part also to give back to the society. কেউ যদি কোনো জায়গা থেকে কিছু নেয় তার উচিত হবে তাকে আবার কিছু সেই জায়গায় কিছু দেওয়া। So Andrew wants to give back to society in some way. Therefore, সুতরাং he volunteers at a retirement home on weekends. ছুটির দিনে সে একটা রিটায়ারমেন্ট হোমে অর্থাৎ যে সমস্ত বৃদ্ধরা রিটায়ারমেন্টের সময় একটা নিবাসে থাকে বৃদ্ধাশ্রমের মতো সেখানে গিয়ে সে বলেন। Okay, so you see this is first time semicolon and then comma. The principal declared punishment for the offenders. However, he became soft and kind towards them because they did the wrong for the first time. Okay, so these are the ways we can frame, we can make compound sentences by using you see coordinating conjunctions, by using correlatives, and then by using adverbs. Okay, now important structures for completing sentences or forming sentences, we can better say. Part 1, subject plus verb. This is also sentence structure, and I think this is very, very important. If you can develop sentences, write sentences yourself, nothing will become difficult for you to write anything on anything. They have a nice house. A sentence must have a subject and a main verb. They have a nice house. The subject and verb complement. Or everybody agreed. Everybody agreed. Subject, verb, no object. Intransitive verb. My sister called. Subject, verb. But the sentences are not very much suitable. Everybody agreed. My sister called. You see, we can add many things to the sentence if we need. So when we need to expand the sentence in order to express other information, we have to, or the sentences become longer. We need long sentences, not this very short sentence. You see here, using phrase as subject and verbs. Anyway, I want to go back if there is any problem to see. স্যার এই টেক্সট গুলো কি কোনো বই থেকে পড়াচ্ছেন? So thank you very much, শাহরিয়ার হৃদয়। আমি আসলে এটা কোনো বই থেকে পড়াই না। আমি এগুলো নিজে তৈরি করি আসলে। Actually, I make this lesson myself. Of course, I take the help of many sources. I take the help of textbooks. I take the help of many grammar books. I also take the help of YouTube, especially Oxford University classes. Very often I listen to language Oxford classes on language. Very often I listen to Oxford University language classes. And I actually take help, I think at large, I take help from these sources. So you won't find these in any textbooks or anywhere. So it is better to listen to me very carefully. And if you miss anything, you please ask me. I will try to tell you in more details. Shahjadi, Ahmed, Shahid Ahmed, Shriti, yes, sir, it's being seen blurry. Yes, I want to blurry. I'm going back. I'm going back to my own page. Content page is very clear, not blurry. So we need to use phrases. Using phrases as subject and verbs. So for our own necessity, for our own need, we have to expand our sentences using or adding many components, many things, many parts. So using phrases as subject. So a subject can not only be a single word, it can be a phrase as well. Even a clause can be a subject. Not only a word, but also a phrase, even a clause, a complete clause can be the subject of sentence. So almost always we need to use extra components with subjects and verbs for adding extra information. Everybody agreed. Simple basic sentence. Everybody agreed. So you see in the past tense, the sentence is in the past tense. Then I have given expansion. Everybody who was in the class agreed. Everybody who was in the class agreed. So this is the expansion. This is the expansion. Then I have given more expansion. Everybody who was at the board meeting held last Sunday, everything evening. I'm sorry. Everybody who was at the board meeting held last Sunday evening agreed to change the existing office dress code to something more informal. It's a very long sentence. You see here. That means this is just our wish, just our need. If we want to expand the sentence with giving many more information, we have to expand the sentence to this long one. Okay. So who was at the board meeting held last Sunday evening? This is actually is with the subject. The subject is post modified by this long portion. You see here, everybody, the word, the noun is post modified. Who was at the board meeting held last Sunday evening modified the noun everybody. Agreed to, agreed, the word verb has been expanded. How? By adding to change the existing office dress code to something more informal. Okay. So one thing I must tell you, please try to remember the sentence structure. Try to keep the sentences in mind so that you can write sentences in this way, so that you can follow the sentence structure. Okay, everybody who was in the class agreed. Everybody who was present there agreed. Everybody who came there agreed. Everybody who was not present in the meeting also agreed. যারা মিটিং এ ছিল না তারাও সম্মত হয়েছিল। Everybody who was not in the class, not in the meeting, also agreed. Okay? So this is how we can write new sentences, putting our new information, new ideas. Then you see, everybody who was in the class last Saturday agreed to attend all the classes regularly. This is everybody who was in the class last Saturday agreed to attend all the classes regularly. Okay. My sister Mary called last night. My sister Mary, but this is our first basic sentence was Mary called or my sister called. My sister Mary called last night. And then expansion, you see how we can expand the sentence. My sister Mary, who I haven't spoken to for long, যার সঙ্গে আমি দীর্ঘদিন কথা বলি নাই. You can also write home or to home. To whom I haven't spoken for long. This is most common. But in spoken English, preposition to actually goes at the end. Spoken English এ to টা পরে চলে যায় আর হোমের ব্যবহার নেই। স্পোকেন ইংলিশে এবং মডার্ন ইংলিশে হোমের ব্যবহার নেই। এখানে হু মানে কিন্তু যাকে না, যে নয়, যাকে। হু আই হ্যাভেন্ট স্পোকেন টু ফর লং, যার সঙ্গে আমি দীর্ঘদিন কথা বলি নাই। কল টু টেল অ্যাবাউট হার নিউ জব, তার নতুন চাকরি সম্পর্কে আমাকে বলার জন্য সে ডেকেছিল। ওকে, they have a nice house on the Elephant Road. They have a nice house on the Elephant Road. It is better say Elephant Road এটা ক্যাপিটাল লেটারে হবে কারণ একটা নাম এটা, সুতরাং এটা খেয়াল করবে কিন্তু যেহেতু রাস্তার নাম এটা প্রপার নাউন, এটা স্মল লেটারে হবে না, এটা ক্যাপিটাল লেটারে হবে, খুব খেয়াল রাখতে হবে। দে হ্যাভ এ নাইস হাউস অন দ্য এলিফ্যান্ট রোড। সো ইউজ অফ প্রিপজিশন খেয়াল করবে, কোনো রাস্তার এটা উপরে ঠিক না, রাস্তার ধারে বা রাস্তার পাশে বা রাস্তার আশেপাশে বোঝানোর জন্য অন ব্যবহার করা হয়। ওকে, অন দ্য এলিফ্যান্ট রোড মানে রাস্তার উপরে ঠিক না, রাস্তার আশেপাশে। That goes from the science lab to the Katabon Mosque. Okay, it goes from the science lab to the Katabon Mosque. You see, my maths teacher এটা বড় হাতে লিখলে ভালো হয়। My maths teacher from high school was really good at explaining complicated things. My math teacher from high school, that's all. My high school math teacher. My math teacher from high school or my high school math teacher was really good at explaining complicated things. Even though it's structure, my high school teacher, but we can also tell in this way. My maths teacher from high school. It's a standard. It's a standard to some extent, a standard form. Okay. Now test for you, but look at the following sentences. We will be back home next Friday. That means if you write we'll back home next Friday, সেটা কি কারেক্ট হবে? কারেক্ট হবে না। কি লিখতে হবে? will go back. We will go back home next Friday. B number, imposing higher taxes on fast food. Imposing higher taxes on fast food, it's a good idea. You see here, two subjects but one verb. Imposing high taxes on fast food, it's a good idea. Two subjects but one verb. Imposing is one subject, it another subject, but verb is. Okay. And then secondly, dash affects individual's life. So there is a mistake. You see here in number B, imposing high taxes on fast food. It's a good idea. তাহলে এখানে কিছু বসাইতে হবে, তাই না? কিছু বসাইতে হবে। আমরা এটা কেটে দিলে কেমন হয় দেখো তো এটা? কেটে দিলে সেন্টেন্স কারেক্ট হয়ে গেল, তাই না? Imposing high taxes on fast food is a good idea. আগে ভুল ছিল, আমি খেয়াল করি নাই। সেন্টেন্সটা আগে ভুল ছিল। ওকে? Imposing this is the subject. Imposing high taxes is the subject. যদি আমরা এরকম রাখি তাহলে কি হয়? Imposing high taxes on fast food. এটা একটা সাবজেক্ট, এইটা একটা সাবজেক্ট, বাট সাবজেক্ট ভার্ব হলো একটা। এখানে ইজটা উজ্জ্ব আছে। ইজ এ আইএস এন্ড ইজটা উজ্জ্ব আন্ডারস্টুড আছে। সুতরাং ইটস রং সেন্টেন্স। এইভাবে তো লেখা যাবে, লিখতে হবে হলো দুটো সাবজেক্ট, এখানে দুটো হয় না, একটাই আছে এবং এটা ইজ দিলে কারেক্ট হয়ে যায়। তো ইম্পোজিং হায়ার ট্যাক্সেস অন ফাস্ট ফুড, অর্থাৎ ফাস্ট ফুডের উপরে বেশি ট্যাক্স বসানোটা একটা ভালো আইডিয়া। ওকে? And then you see, secondly, dash affects individual's life directly. No subject. Individual's life directly. কোন জিনিস? সাবজেক্ট আছে? নাই। সুতরাং ড্যাশ অ্যাফেক্টস ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালস লাইফ ডাইরেক্টলি। কোনটা সেটা? অ্যাডিকশন হতে পারে। ফাস্ট ফুড হতে পারে। ফাস্ট ফুডও আসলে মানুষের জীবনকে ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত করে। ফাস্ট ফুড affects individual's life directly. Addiction affects individual's life directly. Okay? So there is a subject. Subject বসাইতে হবে। D number, if anybody visits Egypt, যে কেউ যদি মিশরে যায়, he will find many old buildings in cities. শহরে অনেক পুরাতন বিল্ডিং দেখতে পাবে। Especially in Cairo, বিশেষ করে কায়রোতে and Alexandria. These buildings are around 400 years ago. 3 subjects and 3 verbs, but not correctly punctuated. Alexandria. খুব খেয়াল করতে হবে এটা। If anybody visits Egypt, he will find many old buildings. In cities, especially in Cairo and Alexandria, these buildings are around 400 years old. If anybody visits Egypt, he will find many old buildings in cities, especially in Cairo and Alexandria. Especially in Cairo and Alexandria, these buildings are around 400 years old. Okay? This is the correct punctuation. Okay? And then part 3, empty subjects. This is to some extent difficult. It is better not to write this type of sentences. It's very long sentence. Okay. Part 3, empty subjects. It may be that this is for the first time you are hearing these empty subjects. That means when the subjects don't bear any meaning for the reader, they are called empty subjects. Sometimes we use some sentences that don't have a subject in either terms of grammar. empty subject কোনটা কোনটা? it and there. It is used to refer to distance, right? Distance, time, weather and situations. এগুলো মানে রেফার করতে আমরা it ব্যবহার করে থাকি। It's not so far to the central শহীদ মিনার। আমাদের কলেজ থেকে সেন্ট্রাল শহীদ মিনারটা কাছে, দূরে না। It's not so far to the central শহীদ মিনার। It's worth going there to know about the language matters. It's worth going. এটা সিচুয়েশন কি বোঝাচ্ছে এটা? It's worth going there to know. সিচুয়েশন, তাই না? এটা সিচুয়েশন বোঝাচ্ছে। It won't take long to get there. টাইম বোঝাচ্ছে। সেখানে যেতে বেশি সময় লাগবে না। It won't take long to get there. it মানে পৌঁছানো রিস্ক। D number, how long it will take you? How long will it take you? Will it take you? তার মানে টাইম বোঝাচ্ছে। It's 60:30. It's 6:30. 6:30. It's sunny. রৌদ্রোজ্জ্বল। It will be cold tomorrow. It was really wet. Weather বোঝাচ্ছে last evening. It was really wet. So it does not carry any meaning. এর কোনো মিনিং নাই। It's safe to walk around at night here. এখানে রাতে ঘোরাফেরা করাটা সেফ আছে। তাহলে এটির কোনো মানে আছে? মানে নেই। It's good that you could join us. যে তুমি আমাদের সঙ্গে জয়েন করতে পারবে, এটা ভালো। এটির কোনো অর্থ আছে? নাই। বরং join gives the full meaning. It's really cozy in here. Cozy means comfortable. Okay. There is used to refer to something that exists. কিছু একটা মানে অস্তিত্বমান আছে সেটা বোঝাতে ব্যবহার করা হয়। একটা জিনিস আছে। There's some salad in the fridge. ফ্রিজের মধ্যে কি সালাদ আছে? There are several reasons why I have to say no to this idea. There didn't used to be many homeless people here in the city. There's a mosque on your nose. There have been several developments since the last time we spoke. Test. Eat or there কোথায় eat হবে, কোথায় there হবে? Isn't enough time to eat before we go. So it isn't. There's time to go. It's time to go. It took me longer to get there than I thought it would. That won't be much fun if you don't know anyone. So there won't be much fun. খুব মজা হবে না তুমি যদি সেখানে কাউকে না চেনো। There won't be many people you know at the wedding. বিয়ের অনুষ্ঠানে তুমি অনেক লোককে তুমি চিনতে পারবে না। So there, eat. So we have to understand the situation where we have to use it and there. Anyway, time is over for today, but there are part 4 also. Part 4 is, it is word order. Subject plus auxiliary verb plus main verb. We know they have bought a nice. My sister Mandi will call tonight. The same thing. In the questions you see the auxiliary verbs come first, then the subject. Are we ready? What there are many people there. In questions, auxiliary verbs always go before the subject. Can you help me? What time does she arrive? How many pieces of cake? These are the things. Sometimes we sometimes we commit mistakes in arranging words in the sentences. Anyway, this is the end for today, and please wait for the next class. And the next class I will try to make understand conditional sentences and some other things. So thank you very much. Till the next class, next day. Okay.